Welcome back to New England Living. I'm Rachel Holt. Up next, we're in York, Maine to check out the newly redesigned Viewpoint Hotel with owner Joseph Lipton. How much did this view of Nubble Lighthouse factor into the decisions when it came to the design here?
Well, the name of the hotel is Viewpoint. It's all built around the view here. And when we thought about expanding the property, what we wanted to make sure was that we would never block the view from the existing building. So that view played a huge part in our design of this structure.
You were really careful to pay attention to the history of this property before you came in here. How are you paying attention to that and what you do today?
So years ago, I was on the Historic District Commission in the town of York. And being somebody that grew up here, had kids here, and lived in this town for as long as I did, I want to make sure that I'm preserving what was here before and also enhancing, not gentrifying, but enhancing the main experience. So years ago in the 1950s, there was a place called the Cabana Colony here. There were these little one-story structures with flat roofs that had big glass viewing of the lighthouse. So when we decided to do this project, we wanted to somewhat incorporate that into this and bring back that history and pay some homage to that. So we built 7 units, glass fronts, flat glass roofs, overlooking the lighthouse.
One of the newer additions to this property are the suites that are built into the hillside here. What was that process like of creating this?
You know, it was a long process, about 4 years total in the making. The most important part about building this was building it within the hillside, making it be part of nature, the concrete building kind of blending in with the rocks of the coast, the glass doors just opening up and just giving you this beautiful vista. We wanted to create something really, really special. And looking back on it now, it's exceeded even my expectations, and I feel great about it. And we wanted to be green about it. I think we're standing on the first green roof in southern Maine in a commercial building. I think it's the only one for a hotel. Our passive design, the energy efficiency of the rooms, those were all really important to us too.
How was that view of Nubble Lighthouse a focal point when you were designing the rooms?
We were very fortunate that we had a program where we can go into a 3D model and walk around the structure as we were designing it, even so that when we put mirrors within the design, we can see what the reflection was going to be like. So we started realizing that if we put the mirror here, it's going to reflect the lighthouse. So while somebody's brushing their teeth, they can see the lighthouse. The reflection of the glass doors, you see the lighthouse. The reflection of the glass wall going into the bathroom, you see the lighthouse. So really the whole focal point is right there.
You're not escaping the view, no matter what way you turn.
You're not escaping the view.
You paid attention to every single detail, especially when it came to choosing the products that went in here. Walk us through what that process was like.
When we designed the building, we knew we were going to do a concrete structure with grass roofs. And then the next thing that we really needed to pick was how are we going to connect the outside to the inside? Because with the grass roof and the concrete rocks, we were trying to build the structure into nature. And we wanted to seamlessly have a way for our guest experience to be outside and inside and not see that divide. And we went down to Seven Tide down in Boston, which is the Marvin Design experience, where we picked out the sliders that gave us this view.
And working together with Joe to help bring this vision to life was architect and designer Chris Reynolds.
Nubble Lighthouse is one of the most visited tourist attractions in the entire state of Maine, and guests here have this incredible view of it. How did this factor into the decisions when it came to the windows and doors chosen for the suites?
The views were absolutely critical, and when you open the door to each unit, the first thing that you're hit with is an abundance of light and open views right to the lighthouse and the ocean. When we were looking into the different manufacturers for these openings, we arrived at the Marvin Elevate sliding patio door because it met all of the requirements that we had for the site, from providing the largest opening at the highest value, but also having quality of construction that could be maintained in the rugged environment of the coastal sea air. One of the components of making the selection is ensuring that that light doesn't create too much heat gain in the room. So the UV resistance of the windows was a critical factor in ensuring that we're not wasting energy by letting heat out and or in.
Sustainability was top of mind when it came to the design here. And you got to tell me about this roof, because I saw someone mowing the lawn on the roof, which is something you don't see every day.
Yeah, the roofs here are incredible. Whenever you approach a project like this in such a special site, you're making an incision on the earth. You're literally putting a scar on the earth, and in some ways, as architects and designers, we're obligated to make sure that we replace it. So we thought that it was amazing that we could actually have a 4,500 square foot footprint. Then from the sky, it's all been replaced with green features and lawns.
This structure is obviously very unique. How does it relate to the local architecture in this area?
One of the many special parts about this project was that I, as a kid, grew up actually playing in the summers in lots of Civil War and World War II forts that dot the coast of Maine. So to get to actually accomplish a design using concrete and using actually the camouflage methods that they would use during World War II was just pure magic.
You visited the Marvin Experience Center in Boston during the design process. How did that help when it came to choosing the products that you did?
You know, it was absolutely critical to getting the client and ownership comfortable with the products. Being able to actually see and touch and feel the products is so essential, especially in our digital world where so many selections are actually only happening online and people aren't fully confident with those selections until they touch it. So that was a critical part of kind of the door and window selection process. Quality was a critical component to everything that the owner wanted. So when we were selecting fixtures, lights, flooring materials, tiles, everything had to be the best. So when we went to select our window and door package, it also had to achieve those standards.
When guests go to their rooms after a long day, what experience are you hoping they come away with?
So you get to this building, you walk into the room, and that wow moment of, it's me, it's the ocean, it's the lighthouse, and these epic views. We wanted to capture that kind of singular nature of you and the elements.